We're getting her on inside of Spotlight 360 Media. Andrea Ward will be joining us momentarily, but I got to figure out.
But again, midway down is the option for microphone. So we can tap on microphone. Now this will give us all different kinds of tap on microphone. Now this privacy. We'll just tap on privacy there.
Okay,
and it'll give you a bunch of different options, but again, midway down is we can see. Now I'm on my iPhone here. The first thing that we'll want to do is to head into settings here. Now when we're in settings, we want to access the microphone settings. So if we scroll down, we can see right under battery there's an option for privacy. We'll just tap on privacy there. And it'll give you a bunch of different options, but again, midway down is the option for microphone. So we can tap on microphone. Now this will give us all different kinds of options to enable or disable microphone on these various apps. So potentially if you're trying to record, say, a TikTok video or Instagram video, but your microphone isn't working.
Okay, we get on. Oh, we got a guest in the building. Yeah, Andrea Ward will be coming on momentarily. We're getting her on momentarily. She'll be in the building, getting inside of Spotlight 360 Media. Andrea Ward will be joining us. Yes, Andrea Ward will be joining us momentarily, and we'll be getting her on inside of Spotlight 360 Media. Andrea, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I got you loud and clear. Okay, we'll get you on momentarily here. All right. Guys, want to get
microphone.
Okay, yeah, definitely get you on momentarily. As we get ready, Andrea Ward, she's in the building. How do you pronounce your name, Andrea or Andrea?
Andrea.
Andrea, okay. Andrea will be on momentarily, just getting everything set up for her inside of Spotlight 360 Media. Again, if you guys want to get in and talk to her, she is here. We'll be talking to her momentarily. Again, I'm just getting things set up as we get ready to roll on the radio show tonight. It is going to be another night as usual here on the radio show. We've got Spotlight 360 Media coming up momentarily with Andrea Ward. So I'm again getting these cameras right. Again, we got to look good, and she appreciates that because she's in the film. So anyone would appreciate that, it will be her. How we get these cameras looking good. Got her looking good on her good side. There we go on my end. And then we're going to do what we do here in a few moments here. Go ahead and fix that camera. She's the film director, so she should be able to tell me how to fix these cameras.
You're doing just fine.
Okay, good. Thank you. I appreciate that. There you go. We'll get the radio show. We are coming on tonight. Our guest coming up in another hour will be Favor Valentine. Favor Valentine will be joining us on the radio show coming up in about an hour from now. All right. We got Andrea Ward coming up momentarily. So just making things happen here on the radio show on a nightly basis as usual. We're going to be inside of Spotlight 360 Media coming up momentarily. Just a little boom. Yes, okay. Last one. Sure, we're looking good. 30 seconds here. Okay, there we go. Excellent. Bam. 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 All right. We're good to go. Okay, hitting that there. Okay. Andre, you ready? Andrea, you ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
All right. Andrea, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right, y'all. We're going to get inside of Spotlight 360 Media, part of the radio show. It's starting not now, but right now, like this.
Covering the world of entertainment, music, television, film, and much more. Spotlight.
Turn up.
360.
That's right, y'all. Inside of Spotlight 360 Media here at the radio show. Of course, you know it's in the building. Spotlight 360 Media is powered by the radio show. We're going to take someone who was in the film and television and music, and we talk to them more up close and personal. Get to know them more off camera and behind the scenes. And we get to sit down with them and get more of an in-depth conversation with them. And joining us now, she is into film as well as she's also into fashion as well. And we're gonna be talking about that with her tonight inside of Spotlight 360 Media. We got Andrea Ward in the building. So Andrea, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing amazing. Thank you for having me.
And then Andrea, I went and said it wrong after I asked you 2 times. Andrea. We got Andrea Ward. So Andrea, how is it tonight for you?
Tonight has been pretty productive, but productive is good. So it's been a great night.
Productive is good. Productive is very good. So I'm looking at you. I think we've crossed paths on a red carpet of some type before. I think I've interviewed you on a red carpet before.
Yeah, I look slightly different. Yeah, I was about to say you look very familiar. We have met before, more than likely in LA.
Right.
And this was probably in the beginning of my career.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get into your career. We'll start on the fashion end. So tell me about fashion-wise, your career there.
Yes, so I've been in the fashion industry since I was 18 years old. Initially, I started literally from the bottom. I started out as a model, and then I worked my way up as a fashion designer and celebrity stylist. I've worked with Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week, with Art Hearts. I've toured the world, LA Fashion Week, New York Fashion Week. I've done major publications such as Essence Magazine, Vanity Teen, Style Cruise, In Trend, you name it, pretty much international magazine and publications as well. And yeah, so it's just been ongoing. I've worked with a lot of celebrities such as like B2K, Ras B, Silento, OG of Basketball Wives. My work has been featured on Bravo TV, Steve Harvey, NBC, CNS, Netflix, you name it. So the list goes on.
Oh, okay. Is that a hard industry to get into, or what made you decide to get into fashion and celebrity styling? What made you get into that?
The fashion world, as far as a designer, is very difficult to get into, especially if you are a person of color. And I hate to say it that way, but it just seems like it's 10 times harder to get your brand out there and to try to establish and find your niche and your audience as well. And then getting into these higher spaces such as, Mercedes-Benz and different productions for Fashion Week as well. It's a lot easier to be a celebrity stylist versus a designer because you have to literally create something out of nothing from scratch, or you can have manufacturers to create it for you, but it's always good to create for yourself and be original with your designs. So initially I got into fashion designing, I want to say roughly around 23 years of age. My twin brother discovered my composition books that I kept hidden for a while, and he didn't know that I could draw or let alone design. He was the first person to invest in me, got me equipment, fabrics, and then from there, I taught myself how to sew within 2 weeks. And a week later, I got a phone call from Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week, extending an invitation for me to showcase as a first-time designer in LA.
Wow. Okay. And then what was that like when you first got your first foot in the door and you got that first runway and got your clothes in the actual big time event? I mean, how did that make you feel?
It was a culture shock. I mean, I was not used to it. I'm originally from Baltimore, Maryland, born and raised. We do not have events such as such, out in Baltimore, maybe slim to none. But it was very rare for someone like me and from Baltimore, there's not a lot of opportunities out there. It was very different. It was terrifying at first, especially having to walk out on the runway with your models. I think that was the most terrifying thing And I didn't realize that I had stage fright. And eventually I got over it very quick.
Wow. Okay, that's what's up. And you still doing that type of work today besides film? Are you still doing that, or it's pretty much film only right now for you?
Well, I've actually included that with my production company, Redemption Images. So I handle wardrobe consultations, styling, revamping the client's images as well, production for photo shoots, films, pilots, magazine editorials, you name it. We handle all the basic needs.
Wow, that's cool. Now, how do you find time to do all that? Because that seems like a lot on your plate there.
Honestly, I do not know. I mean, if you want to get something done and you're passionate about it, you're going to find time regardless. So I make time for what I want to do and what I love to do, and especially for my clients that need my help.
Okay, well that's good. That's good. So now we transition you over to the film side. So now, tell us about your film company. Tell us what's going on that end.
So a few years ago, I decided to start my own very own production company called Redemption Images, the voice for the voiceless, where we focus on the stories of the unheard and untold for those that don't have a voice. So I am actually the voice for those that are now voiceless. I was inspired to starting my production company, Redemption Images, because I am a survivor of domestic violence, and I do come from that background. And when I was currently going through some of my darkest times, my trials and tribulations, I felt as though that I did not have a voice. And when I would watch films and, TV shows, I felt like there wasn't a lot of representation for people like me or people with similar backgrounds that come from being homeless or mental health or domestic violence, anything of that nature, bullying. I went through all these different social issues that affects today's society. And I felt as though if there was something I could do to make a difference, even if it's telling a story, writing a story, producing it, and spreading more awareness on social issues, and especially social injustice, that seems to be ongoing. It's an ongoing issue that has not been fixed or resolved at all. And for me as a person, I just want to make a difference in this world. So that's why I got into TV and film. Also, to give others a platform, especially new and upcoming artists and actors as well, because getting into the realm of acting or film in general is very difficult. And it's just, especially if you're a woman on top of that too, you have to work 10 times harder. And I didn't like the fact that opportunities weren't given just because of someone's social status or because if they were a male or a female. And it's a lot of unfairness in this industry and game. And so I thought if I could present opportunities to others, then I could make a difference. And I wish someone had done that for me, and I literally started from the ground up.
Wow. That you know what? That was gonna be my next question for you. Being a woman in this industry, I know it's been really tough. Can you shed a little light on that again? Being that we just wrapped up actually Women's History Month here, and actually we're in the middle of another month. But can you just shed a little light on that, being a woman, and how you said you have to work 10 times harder in this industry? Why is that?
So in the film world, this is a male-dominating industry. You won't see a lot of women, especially women of color, in spaces or industries as such, because it's not as welcoming or forgiving. You could do one wrong thing, or, just people take advantage of women in this industry all the time. Right. And they do that because they can, because they have the authority and power over you. I didn't like how I felt in that moment. When I first got into it, I used to, do PA work on set just to get the experience and exposure, because I was also new to the opportunities and spaces as well. And so what I did was I gathered everything that I knew and that I was learning as well. In addition, from what I was shown and what I learned from the fashion world, to implement that into the production world as well. Because if you can start your own versus sitting at someone else's table, that's fine to start off with. But if you establish a table of your own, then you have more control, you have more authority, you could, solidify other positions to other people and to make a difference. And I try to bring more people of color, of different nationalities and background, and especially women, because I want to see us grow and shine. And in this industry, people have a lot of egos. To them, I'm just a newbie just walking in, but I've done more in a lifetime versus what other people have done their whole entire life. I've done this in a short period of time. And there's a lot of jealousy. There's a lot of jealousy. And, there's enough money out there in this world for everyone to win.
Absolutely.
But people are so selfish. And they just want to pull each other down instead of uplifting each other and giving more women opportunities, being camera operators, directors, producers. And I remember getting into that space, just the idea of directing. This was before I even started anything. I remember the first thing I was told was, you are not going to be a great director because you're a woman.
Wow.
And also, you're an attractive woman with a beautiful face, but I don't think you'll be a successful director.
Really? They told you that, huh?
Yep, that was the first thing I was told when I mentioned the idea. And I did not realize that I had so much potential, so many different gifts and talents. I was not exploring all of it. And, I started to self-doubt myself, but then I was like, wait, for someone to just come out of their mouth to say that directly to me, maybe I'm a threat, maybe it's an ego thing. So I went ahead, I followed my heart. If you're passionate about it, if you have something in your mind and in your spirit is meant for you to do it, that might be your purpose. And I discovered my purpose and the power that I had within me and my voice for those that are voiceless, and also in this film world too, with women in production, acting, we do go through a lot of sexual harassment as well.
Yeah, I can imagine. I can. I realize that it's terrible, but I mean, I guess that's something that's still going on even to this day. Even I've heard that from many people for many years. So, but you persevere and you get through this, and I commend you on that. Hello?
Thank you. Thank you. It was very tough just getting through it. And even till this very day, I don't go through it as much because I started something of my own it, rather than following someone else's rules. And they can dictate and control and say whatever they want to me and still get away with it.
Definitely, for sure. If you're just joining us now, we got Andrea Ward right here inside of Spotlight 360 Media. We just kind of going through and talking about her career, and we're also going to touch on her film, what she has out now, Reborn Redemption. Again, if she'd be here for just a few more moments, if you want to go ahead and talk to her, hit us up, keyword on all social media, D as in David, A as in Apple Radio Show. And you can go ahead and talk to her while we have her here for just a few more moments. So, Andrea, can you tell me about that film, Reborn Redemption? Tell me about that film and what is that all about?
Yeah, so Reborn Redemption was actually my second film that I wrote, directed, and produced as well. That was also sort of my first time acting, but not really. I only had to step in because an actor did not show up and I memorized lines. So that was a symbol to show strength. In a moment of weakness, that's where you discover your inner strength, your inner hero that you have to save yourself, because in a moment of weakness, you won't always have someone there to save you. So you have to be the hero to save yourself. And that's something that I wanted to portray and, to be more symbolic, but that was just more so of a short film for a future film, which is a superhero sci-fi film for the future film.
Right. And what is that film called?
It's called Reborn.
Oh, okay. So it's the same film. Okay.
It's just shortened. Yeah, it's just shortened.
Because you won a lot of film festival awards and everything on that film, right?
Yes, I've won tons. I was very surprised and shocked because this was only my second project, but the production was done so well. And I had little to nothing as far as budget, but I wanted to challenge myself. And I love challenges because how else are you able to grow and prosper if you don't challenge your gifts and your talents and what you're capable of? Because if you could make something out of nothing with little to no budget, you could make anything
You sure
possible and make
could.
it happen for yourself.
You sure
So I
could.
mean, I've won awards in Russia, France, Asia, just all over the world, even in New York, LA. You know, I just got a Lifetime Achievement Award, which was I'm very grateful for someone. I'm still
Congratulations.
considered a new filmmaker, but it's a lot. And then another upcoming film, I just got contracted to do 5 films, 5.
Wow.
And, you know, it's a gift of God. And, you know, your gifts will allow you to succeed. They will open more doors for opportunities for you. You just have to believe in yourself. And despite, you know, being a woman in this game, in this industry, you are going to get a lot of haters and negativity. You're going to have people to tell you that you can't do anything. You're going to get a lot of no's before you get a yes. I like to transpire my no's into yeses.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Definitely. And last, before I let you go, so I read also that you are related to Billie Holiday. So can you tell me about, you know, you're like, I guess, a great niece of hers, if I'm not mistaken, or?
Yes, great niece. So she's my great aunt. I didn't find out roughly about 5 years ago. Just doing research, I remember my grandmother mentioning of it, my family mentioning of it, but no one really confirmed until I started doing more digging, and my grandma was correct.
Okay. All right. Very good. And so since you, in knowing that, what's the biggest thing you think you've learned from her? Because she's going through a heck of a lot in her career that she had.
Ooh.
So
she was a strong, tough woman. She was strong, especially during an era as a Black woman,
right,
in the music world, in the jazz world, because she was constantly being treated unfairly. And no matter how unfairly you're being treated, you still got to aim for the stars. You still have to aim and work as hard as possible, because there's no one else like you in that room. I could be in front of 1,000 people, but no one is going to be anything like me or remotely close, because I'm unique. I work 10 times hard. I have a vision. I have the drive. You know, these are all things and elements that really matter when it comes to your gifts and your talents. And just being related to her and part of that lineage, it inspires me too, to keep the torch going, you know, just building a legacy in my own way.
Okay, well, Andrea, you know, tell everybody where to like and follow you, real quick, so they could keep up with you and get a chance to watch some of your films when they come out. Tell them where they can find you real quick here.
Yes. So you guys can find me at my website, www.redemptionimages.com, Instagram, Redemption Images, Facebook, Twitter, and my public figure page on Instagram is Andrea the Creative, because I'm great and better at more than one thing.
Definitely, man. Well, Andrea, I want to thank you for joining me here tonight inside of Spotlight 360 Media, powered by the radio show. And when the films come out, we're going to come here, have you come here again, and we'll talk about them. And then if you do any LA premieres or anything, please let me know. We'll come through and cover those as well. And we'll go from there.
I will. Thank you for having me.
No problem. Have a good evening. Take care.
You too. Bye.
Right. Bye-bye. That wraps up Spotlight 360 Media here with Andrea Ward, and make sure you go ahead and support her in all her future endeavors. She gave you all her social media contacts, and you need to do what you need to do best. Follow her, like her, and just all out support like we bring here on the radio show. All right. Thank you. Take care.
All right. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. It wraps up the interview right there. If you want to recap that interview, you want to hit us up, you want to talk about it, hit us up, Keyword DA Radio Show on all social media platforms. We got Flavor Valentine coming up in about 25 minutes. Flavor Valentine will be joining us inside of the radio show, inside of Move the Crowd, with myself, MD, and Britta 11X, the Human Chandelier. We just wrapped up Spotlight 360 Media for the evening. We have the radio show coming up in 40 minutes from now, y'all.
We messing with the same hitter. He buy you pants, she buy me pants too. He cut that check, that's what good do. He mess with you, I ain't have a clue, but I don't give it damn long.
Uh-oh. Can you hear me?
Oh, I was saying, do I leave?
Oh, yeah. You can leave now.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. So sorry.
No worries. No, you good. Take care.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye. All right, y'all. There we go.
So we got a check. Every time you in the club, you make a mess. When we he tell me to pass. Ain't no getting rid of me. I'm like a pet. Same hitter. We messing with the same hitter. I ain't messing with no lame hitter.
You can go through these steps. You can toggle it back on if it's off. You can on these various. If we scroll down, we can see right under battery there's an option for privacy. We'll just tap on privacy there. And it'll give you a bunch of different options, but again, midway down is the option for microphone. So we can tap on microphone. Now this will give us all different kinds of options to enable or disable microphone on these various apps. So potentially if you're trying to record, say, a TikTok video or Instagram video, but your microphone isn't working, you can go through these steps. You can toggle it back on if it's off. You can turn it off if it's on. You can do whatever you want. And this will control the microphone use on these different apps. Now, what you'll notice is that the built-in apps on your iPhone, like FaceTime and iMessage and just the phone app, are not in here. And that's because those are always defaulted to on to being able to use the microphone on your phone. So this is